Ouch. Here's what the church used to look like. I don't know if you can see it. I can't tell which. You see, that's that side. See, this looks, from the camera's point of view, it looks like on the left, but really that's the right. And this right really is the left. Everything is in reverse. But this basketball court was on the right side, and now the basketball court is on the right side, over here somewhere, because this is the right side. Yeah, right. So, let me try to get my bearings here. Yeah. See, the left side, the basketball court is where that was, but then they moved it over on the right side. But when we have the gymnasium, then we'll have more than one basketball court. See, that's the history. And you can see there was only 3 buses. Well, I get it right. 3 buses, and we had a school. And here's the history of it. A brief history of Good News Baptist Church. On April the 12th of 1972, Good News Baptist Church began as burdened individuals met together on April 12th at the home of Yarborough family. The following Sunday, April 16th, they held their first meeting as a church in the Tall Cedars building in Portsmouth. On Wednesday, April 19th, they had their first official business meeting and chose a name, Good News Baptist Church. Good News began with 19 charter members, including the founding pastor Dallas Angelin. The month after the church began, they purchased 12 acres at the corner of Bruce and Taylor Road. The current location of the Good News Baptist Church buildings May also brought the first baptismal service, with 7 baptized on May 14th, with attendance growing. The members had to move services to Western Branch Middle School in August and soon began plans for construction on their new property. The new church building was built from January to June of 1973. Almost all the construction work was done by members of the church. July 1st brought the first service in the new building, which currently serves as the chapel and nursery wing. And by the way, Pastor Dallas Andy was helping too, nailing the hammers in on the roof and everything. 1974, the church held its first missions conference and also built the fellowship hall in 1975. In 1974, the church held its first mission conference and also built a fellowship hall. In 1975, brought the beginning of the bus ministry at Good News. And that's about somewhere at 1975, 1980s. Let's see, I got adopted at September the 13th, 1976. So somewhere around there, that's when they come knocking on the doors and asked if we wanted to go to church. 1975 brought the beginning of the bus ministry at Good News Baptist Church. And an educational wing was also constructed that year to accommodate the growing ministries of the church. The new educational wing became the home of Good News Christian School in 1979. The ministry of the school continued until 1985. By 1981, as the church continued to grow, they were supporting 20 missionaries in countries across the globe. Soon there was enough room for the number who were attending the church, and 1982 saw the construction of a new, larger auditorium. This still serves as the auditorium for the church, which later on in the future, in July, will have a new, bigger church that will fit 700 people upward, like Chrysler Hall does, as Bob Scofield says. Reverend, and the auditorium that we have now will be a mini fellowship hall and a Sunday school, we figure is for the teens. A larger auditorium. The still This still serves as the auditorium for the church. Reverend Mac Palmer, Pastor Warren Mac Palmer, became the pastor of Good News Baptist Church in 1981 and served in that position until 1991. The fall of 1985 brought the renovation of the inside of the foyer and the chapel and nursery of the church building. In 1988, the Awana Ministry for Children began on Wednesday nights. Reverend Walter Coles, Pastor Walt Coles, was called as the pastor of Good News Baptist Church in 1991 through Wayne Berry, church member, and pastored for 23 years until he retired in 2014. Good News Baptist Church became the home base of Armed Forces Baptist Missions in 1992. The Pastor Coles liked the military. So we got a lot of military in our church, which is cool. And police and first responders, well, you get the idea. And deaf ministry and everything. Since that time, the ministry of the Air Force Baptist Mission has grown and continues to be a vital part of the ministry of the church. Over the next 5 years, the church continued to grow. By 1997, Good News was supporting over 40 missionaries and had a number of active ministries which continue to this day, including ladies' fellowships, men's prayer breakfasts on certain Saturdays, I'm not sure which ones, in the fellowship hall. Men's prayer breakfast, and we have breakfast. Someone does a 10-minute message, or maybe a little over. Then we break up in different rooms and we pray for everybody and everybody on planet Earth and the President of the White House and all that stuff to find Jesus in their heart, and everybody is sick to get better, and for new members to join our church. Prayer, fellowships, and men's prayer breakfast, a nursing home ministry. And then also we take time to clean up the church if we happen to do that too. Men's prayer breakfast, and it's also teens that come too. Men's prayer breakfast, a nursing home ministry, a military ministry. Bob Schofield heads up the nursing home ministry. We used to have a young ministry too. Gene Sayer does that now. A nursing home ministry, a military ministry, active seniors, teens, and children's ministries, a bookstore, and much more, a library. In 2001, the faculties grew once again as a new fellowship hall was built to accommodate the growing congregation. And that's when Pastor Cole said, "Hey Marcel, can you put a new kitchen in?" He was like a kid in a candy store or a cookie jar. He put a deep sink in, a gas stove, a steam oven, garbage disposal, a dishwasher, the whole 9 yards. And Bill Barker said, "Bill, your dad taught us all we know." And everybody says, "Bill, God needed your dad to get ready for the feast." Because my dad passed away a few days before Thanksgiving 2010. All right, a group of members at Good News who were burdened to reach the Spanish-speaking community began the Hispanic ministry in 2004. In 2007, the auditorium was renovated and the pews were redone. By that year, Frontline clubs had replaced Awanas as the children's Wednesday night program. Evangelist Explosion was the soul-winning ministry, and the church was supporting almost 60 missionaries worldwide. In 2010, Reverend Marvin Tobin, Pastor Tobin, and Sandy Tobin, his wife, Marvin Tobin became the pastor of the Hispanic ministry and has since been working to organize Iglesia Bursas Bienes Nuevas as an autonomous church. And they want to have their own building and branch out on their own and have a Spanish Good News Baptist church. They were missionaries in Mexico, but when they were there, the Foxes were doing the ministry. And then later on, Mrs. Tobin did a free Spanish lesson. Even my mom, Darlene, came along. Tommy picked her up and we went. Reverend Mike Asher became the pastor of Good News in 2014. Pastor Mike Asher and his wife Renee and 11 children. Mike Asher became the pastor of Good News in 2014 and currently serves as the pastor of the church. 2015 saw upgrades made to the lighting, LED lighting, and sound systems in the auditorium, as well as the creation of a hospitality center to welcome guests to the church. The Path of Life broadcast radio program was first aired in 2016 on the local WPMH radio station. Now it's a more than one station now. As God's blessings continued, 2019 sees Good News with a membership of about 400. Good News has the opportunity to support over 70 missionaries serving in every inhabited continent. About half a dozen of those missionaries call Good News their sending church. It is only by God's grace that the light of the gospel has continued to shine through the ministry of Good News Baptist Church for the last 45 years. Now it's been 50 years. The story of Good News is a story of God's faithfulness with His continual blessing. We look forward to many more years showing forth the path to life. And now we have live stream on YouTube and Facebook too. And we plan to expand the church even more with a gymnasium, a fellowship with a gymnasium, and we'll have another church that's even bigger that'll seat 700 upward. Bob Scope said, you remember Coppersville, we go see him every year when he used to tour at Chrysler Hall? Yeah, and the stories took me and all that. Yeah, you know how it's layered upward? Well, that's how this new church is. It'll sit 700. That's good that I recorded before and what the church looks like now, and the footage I have from 1972, what it looked like, and then when we expand the church, I'll have that, and I'll have all the footage together, before and after, before and the expanded church together.